Hey, welcome to another edition of Kyle Meredith with. It's the interview series presented by WFPK at WFPK.org, Consequence, and the Consequence Podcast Network. Thanks as always for making your way here. Checking out the series, you know what to do. Like what you see, what you hear, hit that subscribe button. I put out 3 new interviews every single week, so it's a great way to keep up with your favorite artists. And I'm so excited because John Roberts is here to talk about music. Hello.
Hello.
And
Thank you for having me.
yeah, of course, it's a pleasure to have you. I mean, I'll say the thing I guess everybody says. You might be familiar with a lot of your work. One of those being the voice of Linda on Bob's Burgers, but you've got this whole other side to you, this musical side. That's what about? I mean, in the public eye, it was about what 5 or 6 years old now.
Yeah, about 5 years since I started. I made an EP with Big Black Delta, who's an incredible artist, and slowly been cranking them out since then. But it's been great working with Junior Sanchez. Did some stuff with Baby Daddy from Scissor Sisters. So I've been really fortunate to work with really talented producers and currently still writing with Junior, and this latest release, Danger, is with Junior as well.
Yeah, which by the way is a fun song. And you mentioned working with Baby Daddy. What that was back on Good Old Days that came out last year, and was such a fun song in
Yes.
itself. And I know Jake from Scissor Sisters really well, and I hadn't met Baby Daddy, but I love the sounds that
Awesome.
you all made.
Uh, yeah, we all kind of came up together in a way. Worked at the same restaurants and stuff before the publication. No, I don't know. Yeah, it was like the early aughts, kind of
Yeah,
electro clash and all that.
yeah. Well, it's cool when that's I mean when the whole friend group kind of comes up like that. But seriously, the sounds you're making, and you have this new single called Danger, which is so much fun. And maybe we just start there. So this is our first listen this year on something that's I guess is coming to an album. Where does this track come from? What can you tell me about this?
Well, this is a track that Junior gave me, and I have a home studio, so I just kind of played around with it, and it came pretty quickly. And then we like to record in Asbury Park, New Jersey, a very cool studio. And basically, I was recording my vocals, and I was around someone that had COVID, but I tested that morning, did not have COVID, but when I got home, I did. So basically recorded that with COVID too. It's a fun little fact. I didn't get anyone sick, so that's good. You can still enjoy the song, and but
It's not
the
like what do you call
lyrics,
that? Like COVID osmosis that we're all going to get from hearing it. It's not part
yeah,
of
you
it.
might get COVID if you hear it. No, you won't. You won't get COVID if you're vaccinated. And but yeah, I love the beat per minute. I love I love the track right away, and it's a nice, comfortable pace for me. Me and Junior did a lot of more housey kind of stuff on the first album that I did, and it was fun, but it was fun to write a lot of songs. But I like slowing it down and kind of doing singles, and also slowing the beat down too. So it's kind of just finding my sound, which I feel like is just really starting to happen now. But that's it's very independent, and it's happening in an organic kind of way, so it feels right.
Yeah. So what would you define that as finding your sound? Like on this track, especially in some of the other tracks, there is that bit of that 80s callback there. Like, is that part of it?
Well, sure. I mean, my favorite decade of music is probably the 80s, and because there was just so much going on. And I think that you find your sound when you go in the studio a lot and you record a lot. So the more you record, and the better you get, and you listen to yourself and kind of see what people are responding to. That all helps a lot. But also just finding your key, and this newer stuff. Besides Danger, I have some other singles I'll release this year with really great harmonies and things like that we didn't really cut into with the first stuff that we were working on. So this feels more right for me.
Yeah. What's a nice intro for this year? And that sound, of course, we're talking about that. Looking back at some of the stuff, what I've got Depeche Mode poster over my shoulder. And did I just see that you hit a stop on this tour?
Oh yeah. So I mean, I love Depeche Mode. It's so good. Just one of the best. And yeah, I love new wave, and a lot of that Tears for Fears, George Michael, Wham. There a lot of the male vocalists from the 80s.
Mhm.
Um, you know, it was a freer time. Everything wasn't so aggressive, and kind of, you could be pretty gay, actually, even if you were straight. It was kind of, there was a femme energy coming that, in the 80s that I appreciate.
Yeah, what was that? And what perfect timing, because we're talking about this stuff, and like Frankie Goes to Hollywood just reunited, and the Buggles are playing their first
Yeah.
tour ever. It's like something's in the air right now. I don't know
Yeah.
just what we're talking about.
Well, I miss, melody, chorus, things like that, songs that you can remember. And, so I do like to come up with a good melody
Yeah,
and a chorus.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's in there again. You hear that with
It's
with
there. It's all there.
it's
It's
all there.
evidence. It's there.
You hear that with Danger, and then you've got this great music video that, of course, goes along with it.
Yeah.
Which,
So,
yeah, tell me about that.
um, well, part of also being old from the 80s is we used to watch a show called Knight Rider, which people probably don't, I don't know, young people don't know about it. But it was a talking car, and it was very cool. And I just thought, for this, how fun would it be to do, like, an episode of Knight Rider, and just have some fun visually with it, which seems like a better fit for me to draw people in, to my music. They're always expecting maybe some hijinks or, something stupid. So this is really stupid. No, it's we got Margaret Cho, and it's a very it's put together very well. Did a great job. Ned directed it, Ned Stressenritter, and we had a really fun time making it. The crew, and just getting Kit. I got to drive Kit myself and do all my own stunts. And that felt like a, really ridiculous and cool, but it was fun just driving Kit around Malibu. I was like, wow, I'm really living my childhood dream here, even though, nobody wants to drive Kit anymore except for me, probably.
I
But
don't know. And for what it's worth, younger people knowing about that show, it's usually a trivia question these days, right? Because you have the younger people who watched Boy and Girl Meets World, and so they know, oh, the
right.
actor, Mr. Feeney was the voice. Like, that's usually how that comes up in conversation. So it's still out there, it's even without.
Right. Well, yeah, Kit's pretty famous, and David Hasselhoff is, he's huge,
Absolutely.
especially in Berlin. And at the end of the video, there was a poster at Spencer's Gifts of David Hasselhoff that I was obsessed with, so I kind of recreated the poster, and we just added the hard-boiled eggs, just for fun. So that was really fun. We laughed a lot.
Yeah. How does that script get pitched to all of your friends? Like, you've got Margaret sort of gyrating on the car at some point. Like, is that part of, like, here's what
Right.
it's gonna, yeah, right from the beginning?
Oh, well, no, that's the thing. We're all kind of like-minded freaks. So all you see is like, hey, Margaret, show up. We got Kit. Night Rider. She's like, there, I'm there, done. Action. Margaret's, starts grinding on the car. Nobody had to tell her to do that. It's just natural instincts. It's like Nomi from Showgirls. She didn't learn it in any class.
That's
She,
inside. That's inside.
yeah, she learned it on the streets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a great video. And what did you call, like, where are you all shooting that when you're in that barren building space?
So that was a Franklin Lloyd Wright place that he never finished. I guess he ran out of money. Happens to the best of us, huh? Writer's strike, maybe. So basically, yeah, it's like this shelled out, gorgeous structure. So that was in Malibu. It was beautiful views, and we got this drone team to film me with the Kit, and it was pretty gorgeous day, and it was very surreal, fun thing to do.
Yeah. And it looks great. It really does. It looks great, the whole thing.
Thank
So,
you, thank you.
yeah. So backing up a little bit, as we talk about, you're about, 5 years into this part of your career. and maybe you know, maybe I'm late on this question here, but
Yeah.
why now? Why did it take, you know, just a few years ago for you finally to make this jump? And I, you know, I point out some of the obvious things.
Yeah.
Obviously, you've been singing in Bob's Burgers for a long time, so singing isn't new for you. But why did you
Yeah.
just now sort of take this jump?
Well, in the early aughts, I was in another band, OptiGrab. It's kind of goofy and fun, and you know, we had an EP. We would tour all around Manhattan, Bowery Ballroom and Mercury Lounge, and we opened for Blondie, and yeah, we played with Scissor Sisters and Tom Tom Club. We had, you know, a really good time, and I've always had samplers and keyboards and things in my room. I was just more of like a wallflower, and you know, I was kind of just finding myself downtown dealing with my sexuality, and you know, it's like, what do I want to say? And then comedy kind of took over with my YouTube videos and Bob's, and you know, so basically just found finally, you know, Big Black Delta, and started that really got the wheels turning. You know, finding people to work with is so hard in a way to you know, bond with and just have them interested in working with you. And I think, you know, it takes, you know, it takes a while to find those people,
Hmm.
to be honest. And I'm happy it's at this stage in my life. I feel like, you know, I'm Gen Xer, but you know, we still have some we still have some energy and some things to say. And it's music is something that you could do for the rest of your life. You know, I know I'm an indie act, and you know, I just enjoy the challenge of trying to write a good song. And you know, so it's something that I enjoy doing, and I'm just gonna continue to do that because, you know, why not? I
Why
mean,
not?
it's a gift to have that, you know, ability to kind of get lost in something. And right now it's music, you know, and you know, Bob's Burgers serves me, you know, well and comedy wise, and it also allows me to, you know, make a ridiculous music video and you know, work with great producers. So that feels good.
Yeah. I didn't know that you all had opened up for Blondie back then, because Debbie Harry, I mean, she comes back, you know, in this part of the story too. I mean, I don't know, has she been like a mentor, or is it just sort of a friend? Like, what is that professional relationship?
Yeah, she's very, I mean, we've done YouTube videos, and we actually, I met her with OptiGrab. We opened for them. That's kind of how our relationship began. And she was always a real big champion of my music, and just on a personal friendship level, very supportive. And that really meant a lot to me in terms of, you know, I have such great respect for her, obviously. And, you know, to have that support, it was like, oh, maybe I am a little good at this, you know. And then, you know, she was on my first album, Lights Out. You know, we have our that song together, Lights Out. And then you know, she's really into it. So, you know, um it's just, you know, means a lot to me to have her support. And Beth Ditto, I did the song with her as well, Nobody. And that was also like, wow, I really have some kick-ass women in my life that are, you know, want to collaborate. So, and that's something I always want to do, is, you know, work with other artists, especially women, and, you know, people that are good at what they do, obviously elevates what you're doing.
Yeah, well, those are two amazing names right there, both of them, Beth and of course Debbie. And I was talking with Clem from Blondie the other day, and of course they've got the new record coming out this year, apropos of
Yeah.
just what we're talking about. And Pollinator, when it came out a few years ago, was one of my favorites. I just cannot wait to hear what they've got in store, because somehow
Oh yeah.
40 plus years and they're still cranking out incredible music.
Incredible. And she, yeah, she's still, you know, touring. I mean, I was on Pollinator, you know, that they asked me to be on a Love Level, and you
Mm-hmm.
know, I was nervous and excited that, you know, I was like, am I going to screw it up? Or, you know, and it's such a great song. And just to be there in the studio recording that was, you know, because it is really kick-ass album. So just to be a part of that, all genius stuff. And, you know, they're true inspiration, real artists, great, you know, rock and roll Hall of Famers.
Yeah, right on. Good company to keep. And I did want to quickly hit on Bob's only because you had mentioned the writer's strike, and I'm just curious, because I don't know how far you all work ahead. I know you have to
Right.
in the animated world,
Yeah.
but is
Right.
how much is this affecting your day to day right now?
Well, yeah, we're pretty much that's a wrap for until we can get it together. So, and I think the strike's going to go on for maybe a little while, like a little here. So, you know, um,
Don't they know how it's going to end? The same way it has always ended. The writers will win every time. Like
I
why?
is
Why
that
do we get?
right? Well, I don't know the corporate pigs what they're thinking. I'm just happy to, I to fight for what's right here, and that's people need to be able to make a living, and there's enough to go around. So figure it out. You know.
Yeah, it's just incredible to see it happening. Time and time again. Anyway, I do love
Yeah.
what you guys do on the show, and it's incredible. I mean, you're over 250 episodes now. You're well over 250 episodes. I mean,
Yeah, we're truly like such a small percentage of television, and like it's crazy to be involved in a show that's gone this long with such great people and such quality. It's the perfect dream job that I never saw coming, but it feels right.
yeah, yeah. I was talking is actually my ex-wife. We're still good buddies. But she's a massive fan of the show too, and so I was just saying like, oh, get to do this interview, and we were talking a little bit, and she was just pointing out, for Linda, what a such a strong representation of women and wives and mothers that's out there. And it's just like I don't know what you can say about that because I don't think I really have the actual question formed. But how
Right.
much of that really does go on your mind on this because she has come to
Yeah.
represent such an important part of our society.
Well, it's funny, my mom was like, my parents divorced. I was very young. My mom was pretty much a single mom, worked like two, three jobs, very liberal, and always pretty much loved us unconditionally, accepted us for who we are, and just a lot of the things that Linda, represents. And then you have all these amazing female writers and just writers in general from Bob's that maybe when the show started out didn't have kids and then embraced parenthood, and that really brought in a lot of rich stories and very real things to Linda, a lot of depth. And she's, I think, just Bob's in general, because of Lauren and how progressive everyone is, they really do think that way, and accept, it's very accepting kind of show. So it brings, I think, a lot of people good, mental health at the end of the day, or things, just some kind of a relief. And women under attack right now, LGBTQ people are under attack, and it is a great bright light, right now, even in the smallest way.
Yeah. You all really do make the world a better place, with what you're doing in whatever little corner of the TV world, as you were just talking about. It's important work.
Yeah, it keeps things, keeps us all sane.
Yeah. Well, and on the other side, I'm really happy that you're doing the music thing too, because again, I've become such a fan. I didn't even bring up Dirty Little Secret. That's such a great song. I love that. I've played
Thank
that
you.
song so much.
That's so nice. Yeah, that's Big Black Delta. Again, he's really genius producer. I'd love to work with him again, and that I love that song too. It's I'm gonna definitely perform that live. I'll be getting some live stuff going on sooner than later, and I'm excited to put out more of these new songs. I'm working with some great a creative director, he's worked with Yeah Yeah Yeahs, just did their videos, and Eve's Tumor, and some gorgeous visuals, and something a little more traditional music video that will be next. So
Cool. And live stuff
yeah,
too. I mean, you mentioned that. I was going to ask anyway. That's exciting.
yeah, got to go live, got to be live, prove that you can actually do it. But I like performing live, and we'll see how that goes. It's nice to get on a tour or something, or play some sad little venues and just, have people come and just get better. Get better. You get better with every performance. I think performing is how you get better. So, if you really want to do it, you gotta get off your ass and make it happen.
Well, I hope I get to see you get off your ass and make it happen one of these nights too. I'll be looking forward to that.
Likewise.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
John, thank you so much for taking the time. It's so great to meet you. And again, the new single Danger is so much fun in this music video. I can't wait to hear what's next.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Sorry, I got stung by a bee.
And thanks to my guest. Also, thanks to you for checking out the episode in the series. Before you get out of here, hit that subscribe button. Again, you get 3 brand new interviews every single week. New one every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at right here on YouTube, or of course anywhere in podcast land, including iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Podchaser, NPR, or WFPK.org as well. A great way to keep up with your favorite artists and discover new ones as well. Then after that, actually head over to WFPK.org. That's where I do a show Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern. It's an hour full of song premieres, music news, anniversary spins, bonus interviews, Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern at WFPK.org. Consequence has your music and film news. You can also find me on the social media spots, Facebook, Instagram, mostly on Twitter. All 3 of them, the address is at Kyle Meredith. Do hope you like and follow along. That does it for another edition. I'm Kyle Meredith. I'll see you next time.